What if I told you that the most underrated Samsung phone this year isn't the Ultra, isn't the Edgy, and isn't even part of the flagship lineup? It's the Fan Edition. The Galaxy S25 FE is quietly shaping up to be the one phone that does almost everything right: sleek new design, faster charging, brighter screen, full-blown Galaxy AI, and Android 16 right out of the box. But here's the kicker: it might cost nearly half of what the Ultra does. Welcome back, viewers. James here. If you're into smart upgrades, under the radar leaks, and the kind of tech takes you won't hear anywhere else, make sure to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. So, the Galaxy S25 FE, at first glance, you might think it's just another yearly refresh, a budget-friendly sibling to the S25 series, right? But that's where this story gets a little more interesting. Because this time, Samsung is treating the FE like a serious part of the family, and that means it's getting real upgrades. Ones we usually only see in the main S series lineup. Let's start where you'll notice the biggest change first: the design. The S25 is thinner, significantly thinner. It's dropping down to just 7.44 mm from 8 mm on last year's S24 FE. That may not sound dramatic on paper, but in the hand, it's a huge shift. The phone feels noticeably more premium, lighter, sleeker. And all of that is thanks to Samsung switching over to a flexible OLED panel, similar to what we see on the Ultra models. It's not just thinner for show. The bezels are slimmer, the back is flatter, and the whole device feels far more modern. Now, let's talk display, because this part blew me away. It's still a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED panel, but this year it's going full TPO. That means the refresh rate can drop all the way from 120Hz down to 1Hz, depending on what you're doing. Not only does this make animations look buttery smooth, but it saves battery when you're just scrolling through still images or reading. Oh, and brightness, to 600 nits peak. Same as the Galaxy S25 Ultra. That makes it one of the brightest displays in its entire price range. And now the performance story gets really juicy. We're not getting the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 Elite on the S25 FE. That's reserved for the Ultra and Edge. But this is where things take a turn. Instead, Samsung's using either the Exynos 2400 or MediaTek Dimensity 9400, depending on the region. And before you roll your eyes at the Exynos name, hold on. This is the full Exynos 2400, not the underclocked version from the S24. The full chip is about 9% more power efficient, and it doesn't throttle nearly as hard under sustained loads. Pair that with better thermal management and surprise, a larger Ford 900 mAh battery, and the result is a phone that should actually outperform many others with bigger batteries in day-to-day use. Samsung's also stepping up the charging game. Wired charging is now 450W last year, and the best part: for the first time in FE history, the S25 FE is certified for Qi2 wireless charging. That's the next gen version of MagSafe, like magnetic charging. Faster, more stable, and compatible with a new wave of accessories. If you've been waiting for a mid-range Galaxy phone with reliable wireless charging, this is it. But here's where Samsung pulled something no one expected. The S25 is launching with Android 16 and One UI 8 right out of the box. That means, yep, 7 full Android OS upgrades, taking you all the way to Android 23 and One UI 15. That's a longer update promise than most Android flagships. You buy this phone now, and you'll still be getting updates well into the 2030s. Galaxy AI is on board. This isn't a trimmed-down version. You get all the smart tools: Live Translate, Note Assist, Generative Edit, and Audio Eraser. That's Samsung sending a clear message. They want AI to be a baseline feature across their entire lineup, not just something you pay 100 for. Now let's talk cameras. On paper, 50MP main sensor, 12MP ultra-wide, and an 8MP telephoto with 3x zoom. But Samsung is tweaking the software and image processing engine for this release. Expect sharper HDR and better low-light results, especially when paired with the upgraded front camera. Yep, the selfie cam is now 12MP, possibly the same unit used on the regular S25, considering the S24 FE's front camera was often the weak point. And storage, you've got two options: 128GB and 256GB, both with 8GB of RAM. No 1GB or 1TB madness here. But honestly, that's okay. This phone is about giving you the best of the essentials, not chasing spec sheet numbers. And when you compare it to the Pixel 9a, the Nord 5, or the OnePlus Fur 30R, it lands in a very competitive spot. Now for the fun part, colors. This year's palette includes navy, icy blue, jet black, and pure white. Jet black is replacing graphite with a deeper, richer finish. And as usual, Samsung's holding back a couple of Samsung.com exclusives. Rumors point to a lavender or possibly mint green limited edition. As for the release date, but all leaks are pointing to a Q4 2025 launch, most likely around October. Pricing: if Samsung sticks close to the $649 price point of last year's S24 FE, this phone is going to be an absolute no-brainer for a huge number of buyers. So here's the bottom line: the Galaxy S25 FE isn't flashy. It's not trying to compete with the Ultra and raw specs, but it is shaping up to be one of the smartest, most balanced phones of the year. You get a thinner, sleeker design, a flagship-level screen, Surprisingly solid performance, super fast wired and wireless charging, Galaxy Eye tools, and 7 years of updates, all in a package that won't destroy your wallet. If you've been waiting for the right moment to upgrade, or if you're just tired of overpriced flagships that barely offer more, this could be the most underrated phone to watch in 2025. So what do you think? Is the Galaxy S25 FE your next phone? Are you skipping the Ultra this year? Let me know in the comments. I'm diving in and replying to as many as I can. Thanks for sticking around. James here, and I'll catch you in the next one.